Over the last century, 17 U.S. presidents have been inaugurated. During that same period, America has celebrated major medical milestones that have transformed healthcare for patients around the world. For most Americans in the early part of the 20th century, life was short. When Woodrow Wilson took office in 1913, U.S. life expectancy was just above 50 years. By the time Warren Harding was sworn in, millions of diabetic patients in the U.S. had no treatment options. Children with type 1 diabetes simply died. But later that year, scientists discovered insulin, which successfully controlled the disease and ultimately saved countless lives. In the 1930s and 40s, Franklin Roosevelt was inaugurated 4 different times. During this period, the president's body and much of the nation was ravaged by polio. But just about a decade after his final inauguration, a vaccine was discovered that eradicated polio around the world. In 1961, when John F. Kennedy was sworn in, death from heart disease was reaching epidemic proportions. But by the time Ronald Reagan took office, numerous medicines to prevent heart attacks were in development. By the end of the decade, heart attack-related deaths were cut almost in half. Around the same time heart attacks were on the decline, America was shook by a little-known virus called HIV. But when Bill Clinton was inaugurated in 1997, a new antiretroviral treatment had been discovered by scientists. Death from HIV has dropped an incredible 79%, and millions of HIV/AIDS patients are now able to live full lives. In 2001, when George W. Bush was sworn into office, scientists announced the mapping of the human genome, which has helped researchers develop personalized medicines tailored to individual patients. These drugs are transforming how we treat serious diseases such as cancer and cystic fibrosis. On January 20th, 2013, President Obama is sworn in for a second time. Thanks in part to medical advancements, U.S. life expectancy has increased by almost 3 decades since 1913. Today, the average American lives to be 78 years old. What will the next century of medical breakthroughs look like?